So every week, I've been trying to highlight instances of constituents showing up to town halls of Republicans and just completely berating them. And I thought that initially this phenomenon would die down, but thankfully this is a recurring thing that's happening every single week.
And the last I heard, these coal jobs are not coming back, and now these people don't have the insurance they need because they're poor. And they work those coal mines and they're sick. The veterans are sick, the veterans are broken down, they're not getting what they need. If you can answer any of that, I'll sit down and shut up like Elizabeth Warren.
The notorious white nationalist is a special advisor to the President of the United States. I'd like to know your thoughts on that.
First of all, I don't speak for the President. I think the President...
We'd like to know how you feel about it. You're our congressman.
Yes.
He only banned immigrants from countries that are either state sponsors of terror
not.
or that don't have...
That's not true, sir. That's not true, sir.
I can debate. The facts are not disputed.
You deny climate change.
Do I deny climate change? No, the climate changes all the time. Right.
If it wasn't for Obamacare, we wouldn't be able to afford insurance. With all due respect, sir, you're the man that talked about the death penalty. We're going to create one great big death panel in this country that people can't afford to get insurance. Don't repeal Obamacare. Improve it, for God's sake.
And that compilation is just the videos that I was able to find. There were other Republicans that were lambasted during town halls that there simply aren't videos for, or that at least I could find. So this is something that is great, and I hope that this occurs whenever there is a town hall. Now, seeing that, members of Congress, they have more visibility, you would think that this phenomenon would only occur with them. However, Republicans at state legislatures, they're getting held too. So according to Pink News, State Senator May Beavers and Representative Mark Pody from Tennessee were holding the meeting to inform the media of the details of the bill they had introduced. This bill sought to ban gay marriages in the state, which is hilarious because that's brazenly unconstitutional. However, after only 2 minutes, the pair were forced to abandon the conference and make for the door. Following them down the corridor, the protesters questioned what Miss Beavers and Mr. Pody were attempting to do. One added, "Some kind Christian you are. You won't allow someone else to have the same equal rights under God with you." So, this is just one of many examples of constituents across the country voicing how frustrated and just done with Republican bullshit they are. Because Republicans, they don't really have an agenda. They don't stand for anything. The only thing that they do when they actually take over government is they try to undo all the progress that we made, what little progress we made with the previous administration. They don't stand for anything, and I think that people within the country, regardless if Republicans keep winning or not, they're just done. They're fed up. Now, Republicans, they know that the heat is on. The party knows that the heat is on, and they're actually afraid of constituents. So you have some of them who are just canceling town halls. You have some that are not showing up. You have some that are actually hiding and running away from constituents and having to leave through the back door of certain events so that way they don't get protested. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge these cowards, because I think that if you are willing to do shitty things but not face the music, you should be shamed. So we have Representative Tom Emmer of Minnesota. He is warning his constituents that he will cancel his town hall event if they yell at him or chant anything. And then we have Representative John Duncan of Tennessee, who said that he's not going to attend any town hall event that would allow, quote, extremists, kooks, and radicals to shout at him. Great way to treat your constituents there. We also have Senator Cory Gardner of Colorado, who canceled his town hall event completely because he just didn't want to deal with the backlash. And then Representative Tim Walberg of Michigan is refusing to meet with constituents just in general. And then my favorite here is Louis Gohmert of Texas, who is refusing to go to town halls because he says that we're seeing a violent strain of liberalism, and he actually said that he doesn't want to go because he's afraid that he's going to get shot. Now, he is trying to demonize the people who are just participating in democracy. There's no need to be afraid of them, but I mean, if you are in that DC bubble, you begin to demonize your constituents because you don't talk to them. So I think that this is really embarrassing for him. And, to talk about being afraid of getting shot, this is a guy who believes mentally ill people should be allowed to own guns. So maybe you should stop voting for laws that threaten others, Louis. So when you look at the videos of Republicans being lambasted by constituents, at least they showed up. I mean, Mitch McConnell, Joni Ernst, I despise these individuals, but at least they had the courage to face the noise. But you have these cowards who are refusing to show up because they don't like being questioned. They don't like that they're willing to do horrible things to the public and then be questioned for it. I'm sorry, but if you are going to support policies that are anti-environment, that screw over the working class, then you will be called out for it. And look, constituents across the country, they're just fed up. So if you are willing to actually demonize them and call them extremists and imply that they're going to hurt you physically, you're just ridiculous. You're so out of touch. You should step down. Now, what frustrates me the most is that we have a president who is trying to imply that these are not real grassroots protesters. They're actually AstroTurf. So he tweeted that the so-called angry crowds in home districts of some Republicans are actually, in numerous cases, planned out by liberal activists. Sad.
Wrong.
That is absolutely
wrong.
Proved over and over again.
Wrong.
He actually...
So, I mean, what he's trying to do is plant the seed in your mind and get you to think, maybe these guys are actually just paid protesters that are, being funded by George Soros. No, it's just people across the country who are fed up with bullshit. And to say that, this is planned out by liberal activists. If liberal activists want to go and protest the representative or senator that is supposed to be representing them, don't they have a right to do that? It's called democracy, Trump. If you don't like it, then step down. Republicans, you're in control now. Your job is to govern. Your job is to represent the people. We live in a democratic republic, so we send you to D.C. so you could represent our interests. And if you're not going to look out for us and you get lambasted for it, that's your own fault. Maybe do something that benefits the working class, the middle class. Do something that doesn't screw over the workers. Do something that will protect the environment. And then when you show up to these town halls, it'll be a little bit more pleasant for you.
Support this podcast by joining the independent progressive media revolution today at humanistreport.com.